Hello there, Sam Fisher. I thought I'd try something a bit different for this this time. So this is why you're hearing my voice only and seeing some footage in the background. I've mulled over what to say for this video countless times, trying to think of the best way to say what I want to say. And each time I get so far and then just abandon things altogether and go back to the drawing board. I've just watched Citizen X, his latest video. As always, he's calm, measured, coming out with some extremely salient points. If you've not watched his channel, I'll leave a link in the description below. He's excellent, does excellent videos. Very, very intelligent, very clued up man. So I highly recommend listening to him. I've watched his stuff for a good few years now, since before Brexit. But his latest one, I can see the frustration in him, hear it in his voice. Frustration and disbelief about what's going on. Whilst I understand it may not be seemingly making any kind of sense, everything that's happening, in other ways it is. In ways I don't think he's really got a hold of yet, and many people haven't. Like many people out there, is assuming that the government know what they're doing, that the system is in control and knows what this path that it's leading people down. But it doesn't. It doesn't. I've said this before about the people pulling the strings, that they're basically paraplegic monkeys steering an oil tanker around a whirlpool during a force 9 gale storm. And at the moment we're teetering on the precipice before we go down that, over that event horizon and down that hole, that spinning vortex. We're actually in the final stages of the demise of this wretched system that we've been under for so long now. The people that are in control of the plan that was begun possibly 100 years or more ago aren't the people who devised the plan to begin with. They're actually spoiled, arrogant, entitled brats that are not even close to their forebears that actually devised this plan in the first place. And so they're screwing it up. One of the things he said, which struck me, but is a perfect sort of perfect representation of these people, is he said that the Muslim population of Britain had at least a generation before they'd have enough probably to be a majority, and at the moment they're not. Yet they're acting like they are. And this makes no sense. And he like turned around and said maybe it's all their inbreeding. It's made them less intelligent. Well, yeah, but they're also being egged on by a system that doesn't understand what it's doing either, and it's just reacting. They've been losing control for a long while. I think everyone can see that. And each time that they seem to be getting, well, that we seem to be getting close to unifying and people figuring them out, they throw something at us, usually some sort of terrorist attack or atrocity, to divide us again and again and again and again. And what's been going on this past decade and a half has been no different, but has accelerated in the past 5 years, I suppose. Which is why we've been seeing an increase in these supposed random attacks and random acts of violence and random terrorist attacks that bring us closer and closer to a third world war. It's all by design, always has been. But it's a poor design. It's one with bits missing, steps missed, because they've not had time to implement those steps. They've had to combat against waking us up. And in doing so, these steps make no sense. These actions make no sense. Why is this happening the way it is? And the less sense it makes, the more people wake up. And the more people wake up, the more steps you have to skip. And the less sense it makes, and the more people wake up. I've said previously that in some ways we need a Labour government in power at the moment to hasten things along, because otherwise we won't survive. And right on cue, as soon as Labour get in, everything ramps up and everything gets more hostile, and that acceleration begins. And this needs to be done to wake the rest of the population up. Because if this doesn't do it, nothing will. These riots are a symptom, a consequence of all this. People need to vent. In a lot of ways, I don't think there was any way we could stop this from happening. People have had enough. But Keir Starmer's throwing more fuel on the fire, which is perfect. It's exactly what we need. We need them to show their true colours, to show who they really are. And though it's unfortunate, this will begin to wake more and more people up as people see that the actual two-tier policing that's been going on, the actual special treatment that a certain demographic has been getting. Because this was how it was designed in the first place, but we weren't meant to notice it this quick. And this will be the downfall. But things are going to get tough. They're going to get really tough. And we have to be prepared for that. Will we end up in civil war? I think we'll get close. We may even just tip over the edge, but I don't think it's going to last too long. Because the other side are a minority still. And like I've predicted before, they're going to get a very, very severe wake-up call to all this. I just hope it's before things get out of hand. Like I've always said previously as well. What we're seeing now, playing out in the UK and across the world, is what happened in that pre-war Nazi Germany. The lead up. Certain demographics being demonised. And being, again, given special treatment, allowed to do certain things. And not realising that they're being demonised and being used as a tool. I'm not going to say everyone needs to calm down, because that's just going to fall on deaf ears. People are still going to riot anyway. They're still going to vent, no matter what anyone says. We have literally been pushed that far. And whilst, yes, that's terrifying, it's also unavoidable. Utterly unavoidable. This is going to play out like this, whether we like it or not. We just have to minimise the hurt and try and keep ourselves looking like the right side. And it appears to some degree that that's happening from what I've seen on social media. The police's actions towards that particular demographic, when they've been seen with weapons, carrying weapons, acting very hostile. And at the same time, everyone being labelled as far right. Quite a few people now have started to wear like a badge of honour. That didn't work out for you, did it, Keir? Grannies, blacks, whites, Sikhs, Hindus, mothers, fathers, every demographic, creed, political status, are all saying that they're far right, because they can see that what Keir Starmer is doing is using it to ignore the voice of the actual people that he's meant to be leading. So it's already biting him in the arse. Anyway, Thanks.